I'm going to be talking to you about the market is the market. And really, our markets are driven by what happens in the world. World events have made development uncertain. World thinking has changed the way we behave. All of a sudden, people are saving. Credit is bad. And surprisingly, you can't spend your way out of a bad situation. A dollar that's saved won't be wasted. And when it's spent, if it's spent, quality and service is extremely valuable. The fundamental challenges to development this year are pretty much the same as what they were last year. Funding is still difficult to acquire. And for purchasers, there's still no compelling reason to buy. Really, the only change is that these difficulties have gone on for longer than expected. And there's a growing realisation that these difficulties will be here for some time into the future. The market is what it is. It's not greener somewhere else, it's actually brownish. And if you want to operate in it, you need to be grounded, you need to get back to basics, and you need to make decisions that are based on facts. Building for profit is about creating certainty in what is an uncertain thing. And I think you can create certainty by relying on your wisdom, your intelligence, and then leveraging off that with technology. Wisdom comes from our experience, and it's something that you get over years. It allows us to pick the shortest paths. It allows us to be entrepreneurial, and it also allows us to choose the right networks. It's something that you develop, but it's also something that you can plug into. Intelligence, and here I'm talking about intelligence from the market. It's gathered, it's measured, and it's researched. It's analysed and it's recorded. Intelligence is factual, it's logical, and allows us to make rational decisions. Technology provides leverage, allows us to leverage off our wisdom and off our intelligence. It allows huge amounts of information to be analysed, broken down, compiled and recompiled. And most importantly, it allows us to reassemble it in a complexity of ways, and all the time doing it extremely fast. And speed in development is something that's very important. If we can get into a project and out of a project quickly, it's a far more certain place. So today, I'm going to share with you some of Mitchell Brandtman's wisdom and some of its intelligence, and I'm also going to demonstrate how we leverage off technology to make those things work for us. Technology is the next thing. I've given you an understanding of some wisdom, and I've provided you with some market intelligence. The key is how you bring those things together, so how we leverage off them. And that's driven by technology. So what I'd like to demonstrate now is how we apply some of these things in developing a cost strategy and how we apply it. The big shift in construction technology in the design space is 3D modelling. And you will have heard about things like BIM and integrated project delivery and a number of terms. What I'm interested in, they are more market shifts and initiatives of an industry. What I'm interested in is how it plays out for each of us today. The best thing about this technology is it's real now. It's been talked about, and Mitchell Brandtman's been working with it for a decade. But it's now real and it's reliable. So what I want to share with you are some images just to give you an idea of how that comes together. This project was a project designed by Archifield. It's at South Bank, and it's an iconic building, pretty special sort of building. It's worth going and having a look. But the photo we took last week looks like that. So you get a very close relationship between the model and what's actually built. This happens it's not just in building, this is happening in infrastructure works and also in land development. So modelling is really coming into its fore. The real shift is that we used to produce drawings and then we did a model. The difficulty with that is the model is what we produced our sales plans from, what we produced our images from. The drawings changed and this was wrong. Now the way it works is the model is everything. From the model, the plans are produced. From the model, the costings are produced. And from the model, our marketing material is produced. And there's a close relationship between the model itself and the plan. It goes through all the disciplines, so it includes not just architecture, but structure and civil as well. Here we're looking at another project. This is the Midtown, which is under construction. It's just a slice of the model and looking at the plan, and this is the plan of the building. So there's a very close relationship between the model and the plan, obviously. Any change that's made to the model replicates through all the schedules. So the door schedules, the window schedules, all the technical data changes with it. What this means to me and how I use it. We use a program called CostX, which I'll run a video for you in a second, just to give you an idea of how it works. But within these models is lots of information. How that's played out for me is I can spend my time applying intelligence and wisdom to a project rather than spending 90% of my time calculating a quantity. The quantities are now reliable, and it's more of an interrogation type and verification exercise that needs to go on. Once it's set up, we can then leverage off it. So we can do it extremely fast. You just recompile models for different alternatives and different scenarios. So this is the software, and it's about to import the model into it. So this is just the blank software. What it has is our intelligence linked to it. So it's got templates and current prices, so the real prices attached to it. Imported the model in, and this is a view. So at the moment, we're looking at the model space. We're looking at the view of it. Later, we'll turn to what the estimate is. Here, we're looking at the precast panels, and we can get information about those precast panels. And from it, we can call up the precise properties of those precast panels. So we can look at what the perimeter of it is, what the area is, what the cubic meters are. When we're negotiating with a builder, there's a high degree of certainty, and it's the same with subcontractors in explaining and being able to rely on quantity. Start to bring prices back to quantities rather than gut feel of what a bathroom might be worth. And it starts to drive costs in the way that you want them to move. The next thing is you will start to see down the bottom left-hand side of the screen information being imported. So we've not measured anything. The same codes are coming into the model in terms of the elemental codes. We're now getting the quantity of the precast panels, which is 2,186 square meters. The next phase is we bring in our template. So we bring in a template and we start linking it to costs. And what we get is a first cut of the design like that. So we get an estimate in moments. The shift is this is just a first cut. So it's now what you do with that information. This is work that we've done collaborating with Archifield. So what we've done is provided codes and placed those codes within Archifield's model. When that model comes to our office, our price list knows what it is, and it's able to link everything together. The technology is one thing, but it's the intelligence and the wisdom that goes together with it. It's how it's linked together that makes it work. And while I think 3D modelling is the way of the future, and it's a must on all projects, you need to work with people that know what they're doing. Because it's not the technology here, it's how you use it that's important.